At this time, I'd like to recognize some outstanding achievements that many of our football players earned this year. And again, they're student athletes, with students being first. So I will start with the Academic All-State Awards. We are very fortunate to have 6 young men that were Academic All-State, starting with Wyatt Reeves, who was first team. Mikey Pastorello made second team. And then honorable mention was Jace Essig, Mitchell Sellers, Kyle Riggs, and Clint Dimmitt. It's truly an outstanding achievement for all 6 of these young men. It tells you something about their work ethic, besides their intelligence, but their work ethic, because every one of these young men plays multiple sports. So they don't have a lot of free time. They have to be, really use it wisely and burn the midnight oil, so to speak. So great job, and my congratulations to those 6 young men. The Weiss County selected its all-Weiss County football team, and we are fortunate to have 5 members that made all-Weiss County, and they only have 1 team, so it's really a first team. We had our quarterback, Jace Essig, was all-Weiss County. Mitchell Sellers at tight end, Pacer Ryle at wide receiver, Wyatt Reeves at defensive back, and Trey Valentine at linebacker. So congratulations to those 5 young men. Quite an accomplishment when you consider all the schools involved. And now the All-District Awards, which is probably a pretty good indicator. This was selected by the coaches in the district, and obviously they see all the films of your games, and they prep and for you, and they kind of know who to attack, who to stay away from, and so on. So they kind of know who the best players are, and we were well represented. We had first team honors. Quarterback, Jace Essig. Something to say, I got to say a little something about each of these guys. Jace Essig was a 4-year starter for us. That doesn't happen very often in football. It's just because of the nature of the game. It's such a physical sport. Jace is obviously in the room here. Obviously, almost everybody knows who he is. But if he was, he isn't much bigger than me, and I'm not big. So for a guy his size, and I remember when he came in as a freshman, I was worried for him. The young kids are too young to remember the old Timex commercials, but I used to think of those old Timex where they strap a Timex watch to see if it could take a licking and keep on ticking. Well, they could have strapped one on to Jace, because he took some hits over the last 4 years, and you're not going to meet a tougher competitor. The coaches unanimously throughout in our district had a great appreciation for not only his ability but his toughness, and he definitely earned everyone's respect, and he will be greatly missed. Also at first team, Wyatt Reeves at 2 positions. Wyatt Reeves made first team as running back and as defensive back. Wyatt had an outstanding season, and which was, he worked very hard, very, very hard. 2 years ago, he had a horrible injury. It's a hamstring. It's so tough to come back from. Came back last year, still got nicked up. Kind of had the little tweaks that come with those hamstrings. And then this year had a full, healthy season, and it showed. I mean, just really a tremendous athlete, competitor, and well-deserved. Mitchell Sellers, who will be playing Division I football next year at Southern Miss, home of Brett Favre. Mitchell obviously has a huge future, tremendous ability, and has garnered awards for the last couple of years, and this year was no different. He was first team tight end, second team defensive end, and he only played defense really part-time for us, and but had a big impact, and unfortunately got nicked up and missed our last game, or we would have beaten Brock. And then he just great talent. Really excited for him in his future, and look forward to seeing him Southern Miss. Pacer Ryle made first team wide receiver and second team defensive back. And I know he probably doesn't want to hear this, but if you'd have told me that as a junior he'd be first team receiver and second team DB, you'd have said that to me 2 years ago, I'd have called you a liar. I never saw it coming. I knew he was a great kid. I knew he was a hard worker, but I didn't think he had the athleticism at that time. He was, kind of thin and didn't have a lot of burst. The fast twitch fibers didn't seem to show, and he just continued to work. And all of a sudden it started to come around. And last year he had a great year, and he improved on it this year to the point where, he's a factor in the league. He's somebody you have to watch for. And, we look forward. We have him another year, so I can only imagine how much better he's going to get because that work ethic isn't going away. And so he's really excited for him and well-deserved. Carson Tinney. Carson Tinney was selected first team on both sides of the ball for O-line and D-line. Here's another guy. You would have never... He didn't even know about sports. He was a guy that I think questioned whether he was going to play sports coming out. He didn't know a thing about it. He played as a freshman and really didn't know much of anything. Played as a sophomore in the JV. And this year as a junior, he's first team both ways. He worked and built himself up in the weight room, dedicated himself to learn more about the game. His coachability is incredible. He took everything like a sponge. He really became probably all around one of the most dominant linemen in the district. I'll be honest. You could say he's right there if he wasn't the best lineman in the district overall. So huge things we expect. We have another year with him, which is fantastic. So well deserved. Also on the offensive line, Clayton Godwin. Monster of a person. He's just getting bigger all the time and is strong. He's first team offensive line, second team defensive line. Really, really dominating to the point where he's being recruited by Division I schools for the offensive line. He's got a big future ahead of him. I don't know how big he's going to get. He's got size 18 feet, so who knows? But he is got an incredible work ethic, very coachable, loves the game, loves being around his teammates, got a great sense of humor, and he's got a bright future, and we got another year with him. So well deserved, and I know next year he's going to want to be first team both ways, and I think that'll happen. He's worked really, really hard this offseason. Jack Ishmael. Jack Ishmael's season was cut short. I would argue, people out there may think I'm crazy, but I don't know. I think Jack Ishmael probably was our best all-around football player. That's my opinion. I forget about all the accolades and awards and what he was voted. He was second team running back and second team linebacker. Jack is without a doubt, over all my years of coaching, pound for pound, one of the toughest, hardest hitting kids I've ever been around. He really needed to play football 20 years ago when football was football. Now, everything he had to do, he had to pull back because you're going to get thrown out of the game because you hit too hard, which took away. But he is a classic, what I call football player. Take all your heights, weights, times, 40 times, throw them out the window. If I'm doing a pickup game and picking a football team, I'm picking Jack Ishmael. He's a winner, and he's a player, and he's a team player, and high character. Now practice player. All right, we can go in volumes about there, but Jack's attention span was a little short. He'd watch butterflies fly by, and all of a sudden you'd lose and have to get his focus back. But you blew that whistle to start scrimmaging, you better duck because he's coming. And so, like I said, I've never seen a guy who probably legitimately runs a 4.8, 4.8, but outrun guys who run 4.5 on a football field because he had to want to. He wanted to get there, and when he got there, he's going to let you know who he was. So, anyways, Jack Ishmael, well-deserved. If stayed healthy, he'd have been first team both ways. No doubt about it. Nicky Lycia was second team offensive line and second team defensive line. I think you'll see next year he'll be first team both ways. He's a pit bull. He might not be the biggest of the measurables. He's not real tall. He doesn't have all the arm length and all that. He's a pit bull. He's an old-fashioned, if you talk about a human pit bull, that's Nicky Lycia. He is the nicest person off the field, quiet, mild-mannered. You blow the whistle, snap the ball, and look out. You get a fight on your hands. great competitor, and really a really good offensive lineman and coming back. So as you can see, we got some pretty good linemen coming back. Trey Valentine. Trey Valentine was second team linebacker, and he's coming off last year. He had a ACL injury that ended his season very early in the season. He worked hard in the offseason. He still battled part of the rehab process. They always tell you you're back from an ACL, and a doctor always tell you you're back in 9 months. Well, that's just to get you back. But technically, it takes over a year to really be 100% fully recovered. And he's probably, he'll tell you himself, he's probably right now, for the first time, fully recovered. I'm talking right now, today. So it's taken that long. But he played, didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a practice, even though you could see he was still working through breaking down all the scar tissue and everything else. But tremendous competitor, great leader. We'll be back next year, and we'll be playing both sides of the ball. And we're expecting huge things from Trey. And lastly, Kalen Green was selected second team offensive line. A senior, had been on varsity since his freshman year. Had always battled injuries and sickness, whether it was mono, and always cut his season short. And this was the first year he actually got a full season. And very intelligent player, loads of natural athletic ability, and did a great job for us. Always a team guy, very unselfish, very coachable. Really, really miss Kalen. And then, of course, we have honorable mention. And I know honorable mention, those aren't always, voted on. That's kind of a coach's discretion. And so to me, the people we pick for honorable mention speaks volumes of what we felt as coaches those kids added to the program and maybe just went unnoticed, And so we had 4 such young men. And I want to start first with a senior, Riley Nelson. Riley Nelson, he was selected at defensive end. Again, he's not much bigger than me. He's no business playing defensive end. But Riley he's a rodeo guy. He's as tough as they get. And he didn't back off of anything. Yeah, you don't want to get in a fight with Riley. But I mean, not a peep, never say a word. He is definitely the old speak softly and carry a big stick. He about as nice as can be, as unselfish as can be. Just really a superhuman being, and great person that I'm so happy that he's a part of our program for the last 4 years. And what he did can't be measured in awards. So did a great job. A sophomore for linebacker was Casey Knox, selected honorable mention. Casey's got a lot of ability. He will be earning some awards down the line. He's undersized, but he's tough, he's fast, and a very intelligent football player. So Casey Knox. And then we have 2 more seniors that are defensive backs for us that have ability in 2 different really roads or paths. I'll start with Julian Perez. Julian Perez worked his tail off year round. Gives you everything he had, running track and everything else. And was always hard on himself, too hard. And, and that was probably, if he had a crutch, it's, he beat himself up. And he wanted to help the team so badly that he never wanted to let him down. And, but Julian has incredible, really fast athlete, was a really good track athlete, but great job on defense, and really was a big contributor on our team, and will be sorely missed. And the other is Tanner York. Tanner York, blessed with a lot of God-given ability. In my opinion, didn't always use it to the fullest, but he decided his senior year, and that's what you're always about. That's what this business is about, is seeing change. We're all, clay being molded and developing and working and being shaped. And Tanner came on this season and quietly became really one of our best defensive backs by the end of the year. And again, another guy we didn't see 2 words. You didn't even know he was there. And but unselfish, just come to and take care of stuff. But really made a big difference. What I liked is I saw the change in him as a person, and you can see it reflect on the field on his growth and maturation. So really proud of Tanner for that. And then lastly, there's a lot of things that go, a lot of people behind the scenes that make things work, and I need to really give them special recognition. I'd like to start with our athletic trainer, Shelby Coleman. She was a first-year trainer for us, and fresh out of college, and she did a really good job. And it's not easy, because she was also teaching sports med, and we have really a small training room, and you got, football's a physical in by nature, and then you had the fact that we're in a small school where kids are going both ways. You had a lot of kids. We had a lot of tapings, a lot of that, and she had times I know she could be overwhelmed, but she did a really good job, and I was really, really, really happy and thankful for Shelby. And then also I'd like to thank her trainers, and she had a great group, starting with Allie Black. Really a special shout out to her. She is like a second trainer. She had been in there, I think, for 4 years, and she's been helping. And I think Miss Coleman would be the first to tell you what an asset Allie was, and she even helped train up the younger trainers. So, Allie, wish you well, and thank you very much. Not just for last season, but for the past 4 years, you did an unbelievable job. And fortunately, we have Allie's younger sister, Georgia Black. Did a great job, so she'll have to pick up where her sister left off. We had Summer Wiley, who helped, it was with us, came to all our games and that. Did another one that was every day at practice. Bryson Gibson did a tremendous job for us. Really, just like I said, great job. And then Logan Cheney. So those are our trainers, and honestly, as a dad, these young men and women, these are the kind of people you really, it makes you proud. You want your kids to be like them, because they're not getting any of the accolades. They're always serving. Nobody's serving them, and really, if you're in the life like we preach, to live a Christ-like Christian life, you're here to serve, and that's what you're called. And they were they served these athletes every day, giving them water, helping them with the taping, cleaning the field, having ice buckets for them. It's just not a little thing here. They worked hard. They came in and prepped beforehand. They were there throughout, helping the players out. They're invaluable. We'd be at a loss without them. So thank you very, very much to for our athletic trainer, Ms. Coleman, and for the trainers and managers. And I'd like to finish by just saying again, it's my privilege and honor to be able to be the head coach here at Paradise, and to be surrounded by such great kids and great coaches. And I really feel blessed. And again, thank you to the parents for allowing me to share in their lives. So God bless you all. Stay safe, and I'm praying that we're going to get through this together, and we will see you in the fall, and unite on Friday nights again. God bless.